We're on to the fourth matchup in the first round of our In the Trenches bracket, trying to determine who has the best offense in the NFL. It's the Carolina Panthers against the New England Patriots, but first, let's check up on the results of that last matchup. It was the New York Giants against the New Orleans Saints, and defense wins Super Bowls, but offense wins out here. The Saints advance by a wide margin. But who will they face in the second round? It's the Panthers or the Patriots? PFW publisher Hub Arkish and senior editor Eric Edholm go in the trenches to hash out the argument.
Well, Eric, number 4 in our series of debates on who has the best offense in the NFL. Now, so far I had the Lions, you had the Eagles, I had the Green Bay Packers, you had the Dallas Cowboys, then I got the New Orleans Saints, and you got the New York Giants. Some people probably think I'm pulling a little publisher's prerogative on you. I didn't make the matchups, and just to prove it, I've got the Carolina Panthers, who were explosive last year, but you've got the New England Patriots.
How nice of you. Yeah, we do have a guy named Tom Brady on that team, who I think is still pretty good, even if he is turning 35 years old this season. He recently just said he wants to play for another 10 years, basically until they kick him off the field, and I think he's going to be even better this season. Why? The first team in history to have 5 guys with 900 yards receiving the previous year. This year's Patriots. They add guys like Jabbar Gaffney. They go get Brandon Lloyd. They've got 2 tight ends who both had more than 900 yards. And they still have Wes Welker. He just signed his tender. He's going to be back in 2012. I don't know who you cover. I don't know who you go after in this offense.
Well, you know what's really interesting is people are probably wondering, coming off a 2-14 season in the last year, what are the Panthers doing in this conversation? Well, last year they were 5th in points scored. They were 3rd in rushing, 4th in average game per play, 1st in average game per rush. You've got Cam Newton, the 1st overall pick in the draft, had an outstanding year. They're a team with some other really interesting weapons. How good are they going to be if Newton takes another step forward and you look at all the weapons around him?
Yeah, and I question who their receivers are after Steve Smith. I think Greg Olson's a nice tight end. I think Brandon LaFell did a pretty good job. Maybe David Geddes can play in this league. Joe Adams, the kid they drafted, but it just doesn't stack up to the weapons the Patriots have. I don't want to talk too much about the Patriots' run game. It's a group by committee. You know, the offensive line does their job up front. You've got guys like Stephen Ridley. Shane Vereen, I think, could be a breakout guy this year. Danny Woodhead every 3 or 4 games contributes. And they got Joseph Adai to be a pass blocker, receiver, veteran type in that backfield. I don't know. I think they're not comparable in any ways, but I just don't know if the Panthers can make up enough ground in this next year to even match the Patriots.
Well, but I'll tell you where they start before we even get to Newton. You've got D'Angelo Williams. You've got Jonathan Stewart. Both had off years last year. They can be even better, and now you add Mike Tolbert, and then you look at what Newton brought to the running game. In fact, I think that was one of their bigger problems last year. Cam Newton, at the end of the day, for all the accolades, 84.5, pretty mediocre passer rating. He threw 17 picks. A lot of folks are worried about that. He gave them 14 touchdowns on the ground. He did so much with his feet. Does he take the step forward this year? Because if he continues to improve in the passing game, that's when the Panthers really could move into the ranks of these other top offenses in the NFL.
I agree that the room for improvement is there for this Panthers offense. I think Rob Chudzinski does a terrific job. But we're talking about coordinators. Josh McDaniels, he's coming back to New England now. Joined the team late last season. He's on board. He brought some of his Broncos guys in. They've got some of the same pieces they had in 07. You remember that 07 season. Brady was on fire. They couldn't be stopped until the Super Bowl. It reminds me of 2007 all over again.
It's a potent run offense against an explosive pass offense. Can the Carolina Panthers upset the New England Patriots? That's up for you to decide. Cast your vote in the comments section on YouTube or send us your vote via Twitter. Or you can participate in the poll at ProFootballWeekly.com or at Facebook.com/ProFootballWeekly.